Well, a new voting bloc gaining steam in the political arena. The number of voters who describe themselves as spiritual but not religious is growing, leading some to believe they could have a major influence this year and in 2016. So in a recent poll, a fifth of Americans checked none when questioned about religious preference. But nearly 70% of nones report belief in God or a universal spirit. 37% describe themselves as spiritual but not religious. Rabbi Spiro is the author of Pushback, Reclaiming the American Judeo-Christian Spirit. David Silverman is the president of American Atheists. And Father Gerald Murray is a priest. All right, Father, let me start with you. Is this a decline of religion or a rise of spirituality or something else?
It is a decline of religion, and I'm afraid also it's a rise in superstition and self-worship. I think a lot of people want to create their own religion. The God of the Ten Commandments is a little too much for them. So they say, well, I don't believe in that God, but let me find something I find interesting. This is troubling because superstition is a real enemy to societal peace.
Do you see it the same way, Rabbi, as superstition?
I do. There's a component of spirituality in religion, but religious people basically have faith in a God, and their life is guided by God through His revealed Word. Spirituality is something different. It might even be a new name for the old paganism and hedonism, that what you worship, what you think is transcendent, could be nature, it could be a certain type of sexual license, and it's also based on emotionalism. Religion is not based on emotionalism. And so I think that this new group, though, really, they probably, since they're emotionally based, they really have never been part of the conservative political grouping anyways.
You know, it's interesting because I remember there was a woman named Marianne Williamson, I think that was her name, and she sort of started this spirituality movement maybe a decade ago, and I'm wondering when that sort of thing, maybe she latched onto something that was being felt as a movement. Now, David, on its face, you should be really happy with these stats, right?
Of course I am. The more people that move away from organized religion, the better. Of course, religion and superstition are synonyms. Religion is a superstition. And what is happening here is that people are realizing that they are making up their own gods, they are making up their own religion, and the next step beyond that is to realize that all religions were at one point made up by humans, and all gods were invented by people.
So the bad news for you is that they actually still believe in some sort of a universal spirit.
No, the good news for me is that they're dumping the organized religion. That's the first important step.
It's not necessarily good for society. You know, you speak often about religion, but I think you display a certain ignorance when you say that religion is just superstition. Religion happens to be very well reasoned. Great philosophers and theologians.
Really?
It's your version. Maybe that's why you're an atheist, because you don't have
exactly the same.
Religion
Everybody should read the Bible, and you decide if it's real.
I read the Bible. I've dedicated a life to it. When you call it superstition,
I've read the Bible
you display your ignorance.
Well, you've read it wrong.
Guys,
it's not ignorance.
Guys,
it's absolute education.
Let me get your take on this.
And superstition are the same thing.
Let me get your take on this, because there was a Montana pastor getting lots of attention after rushing out of a sermon to watch Sunday's Panthers 49ers football game. Here's Pastor Tim Christensen speaking to the congregation about the sermon that he had planned.
There's some bread and some wine up here on the table. You feel free to help yourself if you'd like to. Come as you are, that's just fine. And let's see, it's go in peace to love and serve the Lord.
Okay, we will. Thanks be to God.
Yes, and I'm out of here.
Oh my gosh. So, Father, what do you think about this? I mean, I grew up going to church every single Sunday. Sometimes you're like, oh, cool, the sermon's only 1 minute long.
Well, as one priest once said, the world is too much with us. You don't cut a religious service to go watch a football game. There's DVDs, or DVRs rather. You wait. By the way, you know, this religion and superstition, he's completely wrong. Religion is based on revelation. It's based on a knowledge of a true God. Superstition is a perversion of religion. Atheism, sad to say, is the height of superstition, believing there is no God.
So
I'm
saying that.
Yeah, that's what I want to say.
Change definitions of words.
Rabbi, is football a religion enough for this minister to leave?
Well, if it's a religion for his congregation, he's okay. If not, he's in hot water. He's in the end zone.
Everybody who thought that was a great idea knows that football beats church, and I think they should just cancel church services on Super Bowl Sunday, because we all know where the good stuff lies.
Well, I hope you don't pray for your team to win then.
I will not pray, and if I did, it wouldn't make a difference.
All right. Gentlemen, thank you so much. And we want to hear from you. Do you consider yourself spiritual but not religious? Go to my Facebook page, facebook.com/Gretchen Carlson, and weigh in. We will read your comments at the end of the show.
Go Patriots.